Conor Maynard is from Brighton, England. His music is quickly making him an international star. Often referred to as Britain's Justin Bieber, Conor was discovered on YouTube by multi-platinum R&B superstar Ne-Yo. He burst onto the scene last year with his debut album, Contrast, which landed him on top of the UK charts with hits like Turn Around, Vegas Girl, and the #1 song, Can't Say No. Last year, Conor Maynard earned MTV's Brand New for 2012 award. Conor Maynard has been on tour around the world, and this hour, he's here with us.
Hello, how are you? You good?
I am doing very well, and not as well as you are, though. I understand some great news. Your album is selling very, very well.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. My debut album was released, recently in the US. So yeah, it's been really exciting. I think for me, it's just been a very crazy trip over here so far.
Now, I want to clear up a rumor or some gossip or controversy already surrounding you in a very short amount of time. You're being referred to as the British Justin Bieber.
Right.
And then people are saying that you said you were, like Justin Bieber. And then you didn't say that, and so...
Yeah, I think for me, I can see the similarities in terms of both us being young. Both came through YouTube, kind of very much part of the whole online phenomenon kind of thing. But I feel like, for me, the difference between myself and him is the music. I feel like kind of what I put out and, my influences growing up, I feel like it was slightly different. I mean, I'm 2 years older than him. I'm from the UK, so obviously the influence is going to be slightly different anyway. But, other than that, I feel like it's kind of a more, I don't know, maybe a slightly more urban, slightly more mature kind of outlook. I mean, working with people like, I got to work with some incredible people on this album. People like Pharrell Williams and Frank Ocean. Working with them, you're going to get a slightly different sound anyway. So
right.
I think for me, that comparison kind of disappears as more people listen to the album, and I feel like it's cool because as people hear the album, they're like, you know what? That's not really the case. I feel like that comparison is mainly based on just the fact we're both young.
Certainly it's a good time now to be from England because there are a lot of acts who are coming out of England that are just taking the world record-buying market by
I don't know what it is. I feel like you guys feel like we all sound like Harry Potter, so maybe that's your attraction to us. I don't really know what it is, but yeah, no, it's an incredible time for British artists right now. So
well, and the album is great. You were discovered by Ne-Yo. Is he kind of a mentor to you?
Yeah, definitely, I would say so. I think for me, I was kind of found online by Ne-Yo himself, and the fact that I got to work with him in the studio, got to record a track with him, and then shoot a music video for it was crazy. I think, he definitely became my sort of a mentor / friend kind of thing. He was just someone that was just really cool that I was able to meet in the music industry and help me along the way. So,
introduce the guys you brought.
Yeah, this is Carly White. This is my drummer. This is David Lindenberg, my guitarist over here.
Welcome,
I use
guys.
these guys when I'm over here in the US. And yeah.
That's fantastic. So why did you call the album Contrast? Aside from probably the obvious there's a song in the album, but why call it Contrast?
Well, there actually isn't a song on the album called Contrast. So yeah, there's kind of a reason behind it. I think, my name's Conor Contrast. So no, I'm joking. That's not why. I'd say the reasons are mainly, I think it's from, all the comparisons that were coming and all that kind of thing. I felt like people were expecting something that was slightly different than what I was actually going to offer. I think, people were expecting a very young pop kind of album, and for me, I knew that I wasn't recording that, so I felt like the album was kind of a contrast to what people seemed to be, waiting for. And, also because when I was recording it, I didn't want to copy anyone, I didn't want to try and rip anyone off. One of my mottos when I was creating was, it's better to fail in originality than it is to succeed in imitation. I really wanted to create something that was different. So I felt like, the album was a contrast to what was already out there, what was kind of going on at that time when I was recording it. And then just the contrast within the album, the big upbeat dance songs all the way down to the more stripped back piano tracks. I feel like for me, yeah, Contrast was a name that fitted well.
Well, you have built up the suspense, and the audience wants to hear you perform. You guys came ready to perform. You brought the musicians.
I've got them
you
here.
brought the voice.
Ready.
So we've got Conor Maynard, and what are you going to sing for us?
I'm going to sing a track off my album. It's called Pictures. It's actually written by Frank Ocean. So.
Excellent. Oh, let's do it.
I stack these magazines in a corner after I'm done with them, and I still got the same hopes that I started with, you being one of them. My camera shed some tears since you left in, with nothing
supposed to remember? Yeah. Whoa, whoa. I got the memories fade, baby. What am I gonna show to my kids, girl? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. When I'm older and my mind is telling me to forget you, oh, what's gonna make me remember? I was always taking pictures, cause I didn't wanna miss a thing, yeah, yeah. Tell me how could you take the pictures, when you knew they were all that I had left, nothing left. They were part of our story, this story, yeah. I was always taking pictures, cause I didn't wanna miss you so bad. Miss you this and bad, miss you so bad, miss you so. We didn't make love, we celebrated its invention. Confetti on the mattress, I used to have those images. Tonight I came home, they were just embers in a fire, along with my hard drive, almost. How the hell am I supposed to remember? Oh, tell me now, the memories fade, baby. What am I gonna show to my kids, girl? Whoa, whoa, whoa. When I'm older and my mind's telling me to forget you, oh, what's gonna make me remember? I was always taking pictures, cause I didn't wanna miss a thing, yeah, yeah. Tell me how could you take the pictures, when you knew they were all that I had left, nothing left. They were part of our story, this story, yeah. I was always taking pictures, cause I didn't wanna miss you. No video, no Polaroid, yeah. No record of the love we had, yeah. But Nikon wasn't fast enough to catch my heartbreak. Hey, no smiles in my picture frames, no. Just goddamn little basic ones the picture frames come with. Models, wedding pictures, you know. Oh, that's why I was always taking pictures, cause I didn't wanna miss a thing, Tell me how could you take the pictures, when you knew they were all that I had left, nothing left. They were part of our story, this story, yeah. I was always taking pictures, cause I didn't wanna miss you so bad. Miss you this and bad, miss you so bad, miss you so. Oh.
Wow, sounding great.
Thank you very much, thank you.
I think I'm going to become one of the Maniacs.
Do it.
Your fans. I'm
Yes.
signing up. Conor Maynard is in our studios. Contrast is the album. It's his debut album. And I always find it interesting. People from other countries, you sing with an American accent.
Yes.
How does that happen?
I have a theory behind it now.
All
I've
right.
actually been waiting for someone to ask me this. I have a
All right.
sort of theory behind it. I think I've noticed something when I work with European producers and Scandinavian producers, a lot of the big producers in the world that are kind of from that part of the world. When they talk in English, they talk in an American accent, and it's really weird because they're not from America, but they talk in an American accent. And I feel like a lot of them, and I asked them like, why do you speak an American accent? And a lot of them have learned English from watching American TV programs and stuff. Mm-hmm. So they speak an American accent. And I feel like when I was growing up, the biggest artists in the world were American. So I only ever heard singing in an American accent. I never heard it in a British accent. So when I started singing, I was used to hearing it in American, so I'd sing in that way rather than keeping my British accent when I sing. Because there wasn't a single artist I don't think I listened to growing up that had a British accent. There wasn't a single one. So
wow.
So for me, I think that's why. I think that's what's caused me to sing an American accent. That's why so many other British artists also sing an American accent because you grew up listening to that. So,
so right now, and when all the kids growing up get into music, who are learning, music, they're learning the British accent. American kids.
Yeah,
they're going to be singing with a British accent.
Maybe.
It's going to go the other way because that's what they're hearing. People like you and Adele and One Direction and all those guys.
Exactly. Maybe we have to see.
Now, so as far as the album goes, How did you narrow it down to the 12, 13 songs that you picked? Because a debut album, you got so many songs, I'm sure, as a writer and working with many writers. You have so many songs, it's got to be a tough process to figure out what am I putting on my first album.
Yeah, it wasn't easy at all. I mean, kind of when it really came down to choosing the final 12, that was really hard. I remember I sat with my management, my label, and we really kind of went through all the songs that I had. I mean, I recorded well over 200 songs for this album. I've been recording for 2 years for the album. So, there are a lot of tracks, a lot of demos that I'd recorded. So it was hard to kind of narrow it down. I think for me, it was all about, the songs that kind of personified me and kind of showed the different, angles of my personality. And I think, when you listen to the album as a whole, the 12 different things, it's a lot of, different influences that I had, different styles that, I liked and stuff. So it's just mainly what did I like the best? What did I want people to hear as, kind of a piece of, art, I suppose, that I gave to them? What did I want them to hear?
So who did you listen to growing up, and who were your influences?
I mean, I listened to all different types of music. I listened to people like Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder when I was younger, and then, that was when I was really young. My parents, that's the kind of thing my parents listened to. And then, when I got into early teens, 13, 14, I actually listened to quite a lot of rock. People like Good Charlotte, Green Day, the Rasmus, that kind of thing, and kind of those kind of bands that were big at the time when I was that age. And then I kind of moved on to R&B, people like Usher, Mario, Justin Timberlake, that whole kind of thing. And then right now, I'm listening to a lot of rap, people like, Drake, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Kendrick Lamar, all that kind of thing. And I think for me, all those different influences really kind of tied together, and I just took from each of them, really. So.
Have you always been the artist that you are today, or is the industry kind of shaping you? Have you been what you
I don't know. I think I kind of, after being, when I was signed, before that I'd only done covers, so I really had no idea of what kind of original artist I wanted to be. So when it came to that, I really had to kind of go through a lot of different kind of things to discover what kind of artist and what kind of music I wanted to release. So the first kind of year was pretty much doing that, finding what I felt, really, reflected me as an artist. So, I kind of just had to try those different things, and just try and find what was perfect. So it wasn't so much shaped by the label. It was much more I had to kind of go on a self-discovery kind of thing and find out what I wanted to do.
Because now everything is very visual and viral.
Yes.
Can't say no. Your debut Smash has been viewed over 14 million times on YouTube. I mean, that's crazy, unreal when you think of that. 14 million people are watching you on the internet.
A weird thing, unless my mum's just been sitting there refreshing the page over and over again. Hopefully that's not the case. But it is crazy. I think to have that many people watching and hopefully enjoying it, it makes all the work worthwhile. So,
and it's got to be a great feeling to know that you are so successful internationally, not just at home. And of course, America's a big market, and you mentioned a lot of artists influenced you. So now you're here in the States making a big name. But that song was number 3 in Scotland on the charts.
Yeah, it was kind of all different parts of the world. It kind of was doing well. So for me. It's been crazy. I mean, I remember when I released the album and it went to number 1 in the UK, and I was like, wow. And then I got a phone call saying, it's number 10 in Canada. So I was like, oh, that's great as well. Kind of thing. So that was crazy as well. So, for me, it was always, hearing those kind of things outside of the UK was always kind of that a little bit more special as well. So.
Is there a difference in your fans in the US than back home in the UK?
They are pretty crazy over here. I mean, I think in their head, they think to themselves like, well, he might not be back here for another year kind of thing. Obviously, I live in the UK, so I'm mainly there. So when it comes to, going to the different parts of the US, they kind of think, well, I've got to make sure I do everything I ever want to do to him ever in this 5 seconds I get to meet him. So they'll have something signed, they want to touch my face, all that kind of thing. They want to do all of that. So they try and get everything out of the way. So
that's got to be fun.
Exactly. Yeah, it's great. Just dodging hands and stuff. It's great.
Now, you had mentioned earlier you work with a lot of people like Pharrell on the new album. Yep. Rita Ora, very popular, very hot right now. You worked with her on the new album.
Yeah, she's another artist I got to work with, which was really fun. I think, it was cool because I'd known her for a while before, I got in the studio with her and that kind of thing. We both met through, the same management and stuff. So we knew of each other for a long time. And then, it was just cool. We got in the studio and it just kind of, it worked. It was just all about, having fun and trying to figure out what kind of song we do together. And it became almost like a vocal battle in the song in the end. So for me, she was definitely someone that I really enjoyed working with as well. So.
What's been the highlight for you? It's been, it's just getting started, first album, but what's been your highlight?
I think for me, all the people I've had a chance to work with, all the people I've had a chance to meet, all the different things I've done, I feel like it all lends itself to the album going to number 1 in the UK. I think for me that was one of the biggest highlights so far, but it only really made me feel like I want to push myself, go that bit further and keep going. I think that's what definitely gave me a whole, boost of motivation to really, what's the next step.
Now, if people want to get in touch with you on the internet and they want to tweet and Facebook you and go to your website, where would they go?
Yeah, it's all my name, really. It's just Conor Maynard, Conor, Maynard kind of thing. So, yeah, it's pretty much you just type my name. I think YouTube kind of comes up automatically, all that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So it should be easy to find me. I've tried to make it as easy as possible for fans.
And you wrote all your songs on the album?
I wrote a big majority of them. I think I wrote about 8 songs off the 12 tracks on the album. Mm. But yeah, so I definitely wanted to put my own kind of lyrical stamp on the album.
It's Conor Maynard on the Voice of America.
Turn around, open your eyes, look at me now, yeah. Oh, turn around, girl, I've got you, we won't fall down. Whoa, we can see forever from up here. Oh yeah, so long as we're together, have no fear, no fear. Here we go. So turn around, ooh, floating so high above the ground. Ooh, floating so high, turn around. Together, nothing can stop us now. Well, listen, baby, turn around. Ooh, floating so high above the ground. Ooh, floating so high, turn around. Together, nothing can stop us now. Ooh, turn around. Yeah. Ooh, turn around. Out of space, we can go there now. Yeah. Ooh, turn around. And there's no limit to what we found. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, music up. I wanna feel it all. Oh, and we'll stay up. There's no way for us to fall. Fall. Hey, so turn around. Ooh, floating so high above the ground. Ooh, floating so high, turn around. Together, nothing can stop us now. Well, listen, baby, turn around. Ooh, floating so high above the ground. Ooh, floating so high, turn around. Together, nothing can stop us now. Ooh, turn around. Oh, baby, we're so high now. Oh, till our worries end up paying goodbye now. Oh, oh, hey, hey. Oh, our home is the sky now. Oh, yeah. And we're never coming down, down, down. Oh, oh. Stop us, baby, nothing can stop us now. Oh, so high above the ground. Oh, 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 yeah. Together now, 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 yeah. We'll turn around, we'll turn around. Nothing can stop us now.
Contrast is the album. It's Conor Maynard. As our guest here on The Voice of America, I'm Larry London. Stick around. There's much more music coming your way.
That's right. It's Border Crossings, and we want to hear from you. Join us on Facebook at facebook.com/VOA Larry London. Join the conversation with Larry London and the whole Border Crossings team, and tell us what you'd like to hear. Check out Larry's interviews with some of the most interesting and engaging artists on the scene today. And not only interviews, you'll find exciting performances recorded right here at VOA Studio number 4. Don't miss our Border Crossings Twitter feed at VCVOA. Be sure to visit our website at www.voamusicmix.net. And you can always reach us via email at bordercrossings@voa.gov. Border Crossings, today's music for today's audience at VOA's Music Alley.
Hi, I'm Larry London. In 2007, Carly Rae Jepsen became a household name in Canada for her top 3 finish on the popular television show Canadian Idol. And in 2012, fellow Canadian Justin Bieber discovered her singing on YouTube. He liked the song so much, he signed her to his Schoolboy record label and released the song that she sang. And now, a year later, Call Me Maybe has been seen over 400 million times on the internet and earned her 2 Grammy nominations and topped the charts in numerous countries. Carly Rae Jepsen recently won 3 Juno Awards and is preparing to start her headline tour. I had a chance to catch up with Carly Rae Jepsen recently on Border Crossings. Carly Rae Jepsen, welcome.
Thank you so much.
Well, congratulations on all the success. It's certainly been a huge year or so for you. But it's not the start. I mean, you actually started in 2007 on Canadian Idol.
Yeah, I think that was kind of like my first big Canadian break, at least. But I mean, honestly, it feels like I've been going at this since I was like age 7. Like that was the first time I was ever on stage. And I don't know, stepping out on stage still today has that same kind of spark, that same sort of feeling to it. So it's been a long journey. Now,
Justin Bieber is credited for introducing you to Scooter Braun, who's your manager now, and his manager. How did Justin Bieber find you?
Their whole team has just been incredible. I think the first discovery happened when I tweeted about, Justin tweeted about sort of liking my song, Call Me Maybe. Mm-hmm. He had been to Canada while it was getting some radio play there. And I'd had like a little bit of just success within Canada, but that was it. And I had no idea how to break into the rest of the world. And with that one simple tweet, all of a sudden fans from Germany, Japan, places that I had yet to visit, knew my name and were listening to the song, and then it just sort of started this online viral craze where people would cover the song, and it just sort of spread like wildfire. It was crazy to witness.
Now, I mean, when you sit down and think about the fact that 400 million people plus have watched you on the internet, that must be overwhelming.
Yeah, that's why I don't think about it too often.
Until somebody reminds you.
Jeez. It's a shocking figure to kind of take in, but I really do kind of function with the day-to-day stuff that kind of keeps me grounded and keeps me sane, because when you think about something like that, it's just, it's overwhelming, I think.
Has it always been music? I mean, before you went on to the Canadian Idol show and not knowing what would happen in the future, what were you thinking at that time?
Well, it's always been music for a passion, absolutely. Like since, as I said before, since I was a wee thing. Mm-hmm. I think the first song I ever performed live was Beauty and the Beast and Eternal Flame at like a local talent contest. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't totally sure about wanting to be a songwriter until I was 17. Mm-hmm. I actually thought I wanted to be on Broadway. I was in musical theater college and kind of pursued all of the singing, dancing, acting routes. Mm-hmm. And on that 17th birthday, I was given a guitar from my mom and my stepdad, and I just began writing, and I realized, even more than performing, even to this day, my greatest joy comes from writing music.
Writing, so, I mean, if you had to pick one, you'd say writing is your favorite part?
Absolutely, yeah. And in fact, I'm enjoying this roller coaster as I'm on it, and I want to keep going for sure. But I definitely could see one day wanting to just kind of sit at home and happily write for other artists and watch them travel the world. Well, I stay at home in my pajamas and write songs for them.
Well, you mentioned about traveling the world, and I think you're doing some recording in Spain, if I'm not mistaken. I've heard that.
I was. You do your homework.
Well, I'm trying to. I'm a big fan of yours too. I'm a big fan.
You.
So and you're working on another album, perhaps
I'm kind of always chipping away at it. Mm-hmm. I think there's like the in-between songs are just as important as like the album songs, and I write a lot of those. A lot of little weeds, and then every once in a while a flower will pop up, and I'll be like, I'm going to keep that one for the album. And my process is kind of chip away at it almost every day, and every couple weeks I'll have like a new sort of idea that's bubbling, and I'll put it in my library to be reviewed later.
Well, since we're broadcasting to such an international audience right now, can you tell me some of your favorite places that you've performed over the last year or so?
Well, it's a little unfair because I have seen a lot of places, but to even give a proper review of them, I feel like I don't totally have that that right, because I'm usually am in and then I'm out like almost right away. But that being said, I had an amazing time in Portugal because I did have some time off, and in fact, the whole crew and you could tell we were a band. It was all of us in black leather marching around the city together, and just getting to take it in, and it was beautiful. We just were in Lisbon at the time, and saw some castles and things. Paris. I mean, I'm such a classic romantic, and the idea that I totally did like the touristy, like, let's go to the Eiffel Tower and let's go shopping and try to speak French, which was terrible. I said it all wrong. Apparently my grade 12 French classes did nothing for me in Paris. But no, I mean, I think some of my favorite places would be those two as well. You know, I gotta say, I still love Vancouver, which is home for me. And every time I get to go back there just to say a quick hello to the family, I'm like, this place is beautiful.
Have you been inspired to write songs by different places you've been? Has anything come to your, the songwriting because of, let's say you went to Spain and something there, or Paris, something there, or Vancouver, something there?
Totally. Actually, the first track on my album, Kiss, there's a song called Tiny Little Bows, and it's about the idea of falling in love with all of these different cities. And I talk about Paris and New York and LA, which was a really strange experience my first time going to LA to meet Justin Bieber and everybody at Interscope. It was very intimidating and unlike anything I had seen before, but really, really cool, something memorable for sure.
So, I mean, you know, are you still in contact with him? He's off doing his thing now?
Yeah, we just recently kind of finished our world tour together. What a crazy thing to say, a world tour, but yeah, we got to hit almost every spot for a small amount of time, and he's continuing on. I think he's touring indefinitely. And I'm kind of coming back to the US to promote my next single, Tonight I'm Getting Over You.
That's right, and Nicki Minaj is on there.
Nicki Minaj, yes. You know the inside scoop.
I know all the scoop. Well, I was looking at your website, and it's, you know.
Yeah, with responses.
And what was it like working with her? Or were you not in the same studio? Or
it was same kind of situation as working with Owl City. We were kind of in different countries and couldn't get our schedules totally together. So it'll be one of those things that on the music video day, it'll be like, nice to meet you, which is very awkward, but sometimes awesome. I mean, me and Adam became great friends that day, and we've been in touch ever since. So, yeah.
And who else would you like to work with? What other people are on your wish list that you want to collaborate with?
I mean, the crazy thing about working on Tonight I'm Getting Over You is one of the people wasn't actually an artist, it was a songwriter, because like, as I told you, that's kind of my main inspiration. So Max Martin was who I really wanted to get in the room with, and I was very lucky to fly to Sweden to work with him on this particular song. And he's kind of like the Wizard of Oz. He's just as amazing though. It's not like you draw the curtain back and there's anything disappointing. It was quite the opposite. That being said, artist-wise, I would really love to work with a girl named Kimbra. Have you heard of her? Yeah, sure. Yeah. I find her.
She's Australian or something?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah. She just seems so rad. I don't know. I just want to like talk to her. I find her fascinating. Rihanna, I find fascinating for multiple reasons. And guys, there's an artist named Mickey Echo who worked on the song.
With Rihanna.
With Rihanna. Yeah.
Okay, so you want to work with him?
I'm just interested by his writing. I mean, that song was probably my favorite song so far this year. So,
I'd be curious to know, you know, songwriters get inspiration from a variety of sources. Where's the strangest place, or what's the strangest thing that ever you said, I got a song, I got to write a song right now? I
think my girlfriends would say that they've become very careful with how much they tell me about their love life, because I definitely steal from their stories. If my own relationship is not rocky, or there's not enough kind of chaos to bring from it to be inspired to write a song, I'll totally like steal somebody else's.
Well, it's certainly a pleasure to meet you. You're absolutely beautiful in person.
Thank you very
love
much.
your music, and the album is Kiss. It's doing very, very well.
Crazy. Thank you very much.
And continued success, and I hope to talk to you again when you come through DC the next time.
Yes, well, hopefully I'll be back soon.
Thank you. Carly Rae Jepsen, our guest here on The Voice of America. This is Border Crossing. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.